Hey everyone, Brendan Wiltsey here. I am back at the Eagle Mountain Preserve in the Eastern Adirondacks. If you're not familiar with this location, I'll put a card above to a playlist about this property. I've been here a couple times, and the short story is it is a just over about 2,000 acre parcel of land in the Eastern Adirondacks that the Northeast Wilderness Trust is working to conserve, and I've been working with them to document and photograph the property to help tell the story of why this land should be protected. So today I'm headed to a couple new locations on the parcel that I haven't been to before, a few of the different ponds that exist on the property, and it is the middle of the day. This is a bit of a scouting expedition because the fall foliage is going to be coming on pretty soon, and I want to know exactly where I'm going to go to shoot that. And I plan this afternoon to shoot some long exposures middle of the day. I'll also throw a card above to a video that I made about how to shoot long exposures in the middle of the day and what the value is of that, and how you can get some cool effects with the clouds moving across the sky. So that's what we're doing today. I am at the turnoff right behind me for Copper Pond. I'm gonna walk down here and show you this real quick. I've been to this location before. In fact, the first video I made about Eagle Mountain, I photographed Copper Pond at the very end of the day with just a little bit of color in the sky. So let's check this out. Okay, so this is Copper Pond right behind me. It's got some really neat, like, little slide right over here, and then some cliff faces and everything on both sides. And I don't know if I can get it in frame. Up on top of this hill is where I shot my last video from Eagle Mountain. I noticed a little overlook, a little ledge up there on my first visit. Found that on a map, figured out how to get up there, bushwhacked up there last time, actually flew the drone from that location as well to get some aerial shots of the entire property. So I'm not going to photograph this pond right now. I may stop back here later in the day. My next stop is Nesbitt Pond, which is just a few tenths of a mile away. So I'm not sure if I found moose prints. I'm not sure how you're gonna see this, but this right here looks like a print. Another one. This is all disturbed. There's a few more. One in my shadow right here. So I'm not sure if I found moose tracks. The substrate's a little bit coarse to really get a good imprint, but if that is the case, that's pretty exciting. I made it to Nesbitt Pond. One of the challenges with navigating around this property is there's a main road that's easy to follow and walk on, but this whole property's been logged, and so there's all these logging roads all over the places, and if you can follow them, they're great to be able to travel, you know, quickly across the land, but they peter in and out and they're really hard to locate, and so it's a bit of a bushwhack to get over here. Pond's behind me. I'm going to spin around so you can see. It's a little bit more shallow and marshy than Copper Pond is, but also has a nice cliff face on the far side, so it's pretty neat. And I can just imagine a moose standing on the edge of this pond. I'm gonna sit down quietly for maybe half an hour and just see if we do see any wildlife, and I'm gonna capture a few images while I'm here as well. peanut butter cookie from Norrie's. Shout out to Norrie's in Saranac Lake. They make awesome baked goods. Yummy. So good. Just captured a shot of Nesbitt Pond, and what I have set up on my camera behind me is leaf filter system, which I've shown you all before if you've watched any of my previous videos. And I have 3 filters on the system right now. Yes, I'm looking to do longer exposures here to soften the water, but also to sort of soften the clouds and some of the motion of the clouds, and so it has this sort of cool almost sun ray effect in the clouds the way they are right now. So I'll put that image up on the screen so you can check it out. Camera settings for the shot: ISO 100. Always shoot at ISO 100 unless I can't shoot at ISO 100, but generally with landscape images I'm shooting at ISO 100. That's the base ISO for the Nikon D750 that I'm shooting with. It's going to give me the best image quality. My aperture is f9. That's sort of the sweet spot for the lens that I'm shooting, and it gives me adequate depth of field. And then I'm doing a 30-second exposure. So that's the camera settings. I'm going to pack this stuff up and I'm going to head to the next pond. Alright, I'm back on the main road. Nesbitt was a neat little pond, but it was not easy to get to, so a bit of a bushwhack over there. The next stop is Round Pond, and I think it looks, at least from satellite imagery, that it might be a little bit easier to approach than Nesbitt, so that'll be the next stop. Okay, made it to Round Pond. Just another gorgeous little pond. I really hope the Northeast Wilderness Trust can purchase this land, conserve it, work with Champlain Area Trails and others to build trails, and more people can come and see these beautiful little ponds and even Eagle Mountain and everything else that's on this property. So this is Round Pond behind me again. Some nice little cliff faces on the shore, and really neat little rock right here that I'm going to try and photograph. So this is Round Pond. Gonna get the camera set up and see if I can't capture a nice image of it. Okay, so I just finished getting a couple images here at Round Pond. Have similar setup as what I shot at Nesbitt Pond, the previous image, but this time I did portrait orientation and stitched. I'm going to be stitching multiple photos together to make a panorama, sort of extending from this little rocky outcropping here all the way around to about here. So I'm gonna pack up my camera gear, and I have a little bit of route finding to do to get to my final destination for the day, and that is Clear Pond. Okay, made it to Clear Pond. I'm standing on the outlet right now, although there isn't really much water flowing out of it. It's been such a dry summer. There's some signs of human activity. There's a old canoe over there. It's completely beat up, no longer seaworthy. And I think I'm gonna grab a shot from here. There is one other location on the pond I want to get to, and I haven't decided if I'm going to try and go back to the road or bushwhack there directly, but it is right there. There's a little point over there. So I'm going to set up, shoot some images from right here, and look at the time and see what the game plan is after that. And the unfortunate thing about this location is most of the pond I'm looking into the sun, and so that might not be the greatest for my exposure, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Before I pack up my gear, I just want to shout out how awesome Kyber is. If you can see him there, he's just laying down on that rock next to my backpack, just chilling, taking a little nap. He's so cool. He'll go with me anywhere. He'll lay down and just hang out. If I tell him to stay, he'll stay. I can shoot wildlife with him around. He is just such a good dog. And he just turned 10 years old, believe it or not. He is 10 years old, and we've been exploring and photographing together pretty much his whole life. He's a rescue dog though, aren't you, buddy? He was saved from a home up in Canada that was not really taking good care of him. So shout out to Kyber for hanging out with me, following me all over the place, all through the woods and bushwhacking and everything to get these images. Well, I opted for doing a little bushwhacking around the shore, and almost immediately ran into this lean-to. It's a really nice lean-to. Floor's a little uneven, but it's not bad. Yeah, I'm gonna look around to see if there's a specific trail here. I don't see one right off the bat. There is a nice little trail down to the water though, so I'm gonna check that spot out. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. Glad I found this. Okay, so this is the little view that's right below the lean-to. I think just because this is such a prominent location and could become a really nice spot if Northeast Wilderness Trust is able to purchase this, that this is worth photographing. So I'm gonna do, again, do that portrait orientation panoramic so that I can get a lot of this foreground, not necessarily all those dead trees, but all this nice moss and everything in the shoreline in here, and also try and really frame the image on either side with these trees. So I'm gonna set up and do that. All right, so I just walked up to that other little point that I was pointing out around Clear Pond, and nothing too exciting there. Did find the remains of an old cabin with just the foundation. So that's pretty much a wrap for today. Kyber and I have hiked and bushwhacked about 4 miles so far, and I think we have about 2.5 on this logging road to get back to the truck. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the Eagle Mountain Preserve, and I'll put in a link in the description down below if you'd like to come visit this place and check it out and explore it. We need to help Northeast Wilderness Trust buy it. So, link in the description down below on how to donate and support that work. And as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I'll catch you next time.